Hey guys, today I have a quick new update for my new pans in my collection. I haven't filmed one of these in a while, so we have a lot to talk about. I've got a box full right next to me of all my new pans. Some of this stuff was in projects, some of it wasn't, so some of it's new, like things you haven't seen yet. But we also have a bunch of stuff still from last year to cover, and we have quite a few things to cover from this year as well. So we're gonna go in order of how I hit the pans, and yeah, that's just how we're gonna do it. So let's get into it. My first new pan is not that new anymore. This is my Bahama Mama bronzer from The Balm, and this was in my 50 Shades of Green project pan, so I hit pan on this in that project. And here's what it's looking like. Definitely a good size pan and a really good dip around there. I worked on this basically like all of last year in order to hit pan, so I got some really good use on this one, and I'm happy to have a goal met there. Next, I have a single eyeshadow. This is the Morphe single eyeshadow from the 35T palette in shade number 17. So it was a depotted shade. I do have pan. I think this was in my pan, those eyeshadows. But like, now that I'm thinking back, I'm not entirely sure. I think it was though. But we have pan there, and yeah, another pan. Next pan is in my Roulette Pan That palette, so I'm not going to share that one. You've already seen it there. And I'm not going to share that palette because I am still panning that palette, so I'm not going to share progress on the Simply Pleasures palette in this project until that palette's completely done. So, yeah, we're not going to update that palette in here. The next eyeshadow we had comes from the Lorac Love, Lust, and Lace palette. This was in my Pan in Every palette video, and we hit pan on the middle shade right there. Just a little pan. This was actually like way more dense than I thought it was, and these are really deep pans. But I used this on the lower lash line and the outer corner quite a bit, obviously, to hit pan. The next eyeshadow is the Becca Volcano Goddess palette in the shade Cloud. This was in my Pan Those eyeshadows, and so if you want to see how many times it took me to hit pan on that one, this one, it's in that video, one of them from last year. So here is my pan. It's just the matte cream shade. This like didn't have much kick up though at all, and I just barely had to tap my brush in there. I was mixing it with this one as well, so this actually took a really long time to hit pan. I think it was around 40 something uses to hit pan in there, so this one took a while, but we were able to get there. Another new pan in our collection. The next eyeshadow I actually don't have here to show you. It will be in my end of the year makeup empties because I was able to completely finish it once I hit pan. It was the MAC Studio Eye Essentials palette shade number 11. And it was just a matte cream shade. So you'll see that in my end of the year empties. I still have yet to film that. I'm hoping like beginning of March I can get that up, which I know is going to be late. Let me know if you still want to see it. I'm still going to film it because I've had everything sitting in boxes right here ready to go. I have yet to find the time to film that one because it's going to be a longer one, and I have to like refer back to my computer for it. So I've been kind of putting that one off, but I am still planning on filming that one. So stay tuned for that. But then we also have a few other single eyeshadows to share. We hit pan, let me find it. We hit pan on a Luxie shadow. These are like my favorite single shadows. I buy every single one that has been on their website. So I do plan on doing some collection videos with the Luxie eyeshadows. If you want to see them, I'm planning on doing those this year, so stay tuned for that. But we hit pan on Hot Rod, which is this shade right here. It's really pretty. All of their shades are stunning, and they're so much different than what they look like on the website. Like this one, it has like a red and pink base to it. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see, but then it shifts orange and has like this yellow gold reflect. It's so pretty. Obviously, I liked it enough to hit pan on it, and yeah, really, really pretty one. I have another single shadow here. This comes from the LA Colors eyeshadow palette in Tea Time in shade number 3, and just this little taupey brown shade, a little bit of pan right there. I was using this in the crease and I hit pan there. I'll try to probably finish this off this year, but I was trying to hit as many pans as I could at the end of last year, so that was definitely one there. And then, okay, we're gonna put this away for now. And then we have from my Urban Decay Moondust palette, we were working on the shade Lithium in my Pan in Every palette series. So Lithium is right here, and we did hit pan there. These pans are so shallow. I was not expecting to hit pan that quick, but I did hit pan in that one pretty quickly. I used it mainly as an eyeliner because it was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. It has a black base to it, but it is really pretty. I would like to be able to come around back to this palette at some point and try to hit more pans because they are very, very shallow in here. We have a few more single eyeshadows to go over. First, we have another Looksy shade, and this is the shade Bohemian, and we have some pan right there. Really pretty coppery bronze color, but it does have like a pink shift to it as well that I'm not sure if that will come off on camera, but it's pretty. I love these. I love Looksy shades. I have so many of them now, but I love reaching for them. And then the next one is another Looksy shade. This one is Gingerbread, and this one's a little bit more crumbly, so I don't really want to tip it too far, but I do have pan right there. This one is like a light pink, but then it has a really hot pink base to it, and then the reflex are blue, so it shifts blue. It's so pretty. Again, I love them so much. Okay, next I had a ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Run Wild. I must have already put it back in my collection because it's not in this box, but I hit pan on that. It was like a brown color. I think it was in a Project 5 Uses, so you can see the color there. I don't have time to go pull it. I'm running a little late. The next palette, well, the next shade was another one from my Simply Pleasures palette, so I'm not going to share that one. You can see that in my Project Pan Roulette updates. And then we have one more single eyeshadow, if Nugget will let me go get it. Hi. Hello. Hello. I need you to go somewhere else. You're so cute. Go down here. Oh, okay. Yeah, go down here. I know, you don't want to. Okay, my last single eyeshadow that I have is another Looksy. This is Adorbs. Little pan right there. The brush started covering it back up, but there was a bigger pan. And this one was surprisingly pretty because I thought this one was more of a shimmer than like a glittery, one of their fancy shades. I can't think of what they call them. It's like an Aurora, I think is what they call them. But anyway, this one is like a coppery brown shade. It shifts a little bit of red to it, like a little red base, but then there are gold glitters throughout. Stunning. But I remember that one being deeper than I thought that it would be. But that's all my singles. We have an exciting one. This is my Lorac Pro 3 palette. This was my Pan That palette in order last year. So I have pan in every single shade. Yeah, success. This took me like 2 years to hit pan on everything, but we do, and I can finally share it with you in here. And yeah, for this specific update, we had the last 3 like that were included in these numbers. But yeah, we hit pan on everything in this palette, and I'm really excited. It's such a pretty palette too. So pretty. Just nice warm tone neutrals. I really enjoyed it. Okay, and that's everything that we hit pan on last year still. So the rest is stuff that I am including in this year's new pans. Really quickly, I haven't mentioned yet my Pan Those Eyeshadows like percentages. From last year, my goal, I wanted to hit pan on 200 eyeshadows, and I was 3 eyeshadows short. I got so close, and then I had like 2 eyeshadows that were right after I ended up calling it quits for last year. And I was like, dang, I really should just include those because I hadn't updated anything yet. But yeah, like 3 eyeshadows short. But we're well surpassed 200 now. We've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more eyeshadows and 2 face palettes. Like, we've definitely surpassed the 200 pan goal already, but we were a little bit short for last year. So there's that little update there. But let's continue on with all of the new pans that I've hit so far this year. First is from my Marc Jacobs Style Eye Trio in the Mod, and we hit pan on the black shade. This one was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows, and we hit pan. This only took me like 5 uses because there is a little crack in there already, so it wasn't that far away. But another new pan. Next, we have my Ciate Spice palette, and we were working on the shade Moonlit in my Pan Those Eyeshadows. If I can open it. Come on. Okay. And here is this palette right here. Moonlit is this shimmery shade down here, and as you can tell, we were able to hit pan. This one, again, went really quickly, too. Like, these pans are really shallow. They're definitely, like, pretty wide, so I bet it's about the same amount of product as normal palettes, but they're very shallow. And I've got some dips on other shades in here, so maybe next time we pull this back out, we might be able to get some more pans in here, but for now, we have 1 pan right there in Moonlit. Next, we have a Pop Beauty Trio. This is the shade, well, in the color Naturally Bare, and we were working on the gold shade, and this was in my Pan in Every palette, I think. I'm pretty sure. Pan in Every palette, and we hit some massive pan in this one. Definitely like a huge dip around it too. We wore this all over the lid, the like outer half of the lid, lower lash line. We were using this a ton, and we definitely made some really good progress on here, and we hit a really good pan. Exciting. Next, I have from my BH Cosmetics Neutral Eyes palette in shade number 14. That is all that is left. This one fell out, so I didn't really hit this pan. This one broke, but we're gonna count it just like for my spreadsheet reasons. That way, like, I know this one has pan, but we didn't earn this one. But I would like to come around and finish this off. I have all of what's left of the BH Cosmetics palette in this little palette. So this is everything that's left. All of these pans you've seen in these updates before, and it's a frequent flyer for hitting pans, and I really want to focus in on the rest of these shades, hit more pans, finish more up, and it's one of my goals for this year to work on this as much as I can, so I'm keeping it out in my desk. So I had to go find that one because I didn't have it pulled off to the side, but I'm keeping all those out in my desk this year, at least for right now. and it is a goal to try to do as much as I can with those. I haven't reached for it yet, but it's out, and yeah, I want to work on those shades. I have my Beauty Treats Rose Gold Nudes palette. This was in my whole collection project pan, and we hit pan on this shade right here, number 14. We're all good. Oh, that was scary. Shade number 14 right here. We hit pan there. And yeah, I was really excited about this because my goals for that project wasn't to hit pan or anything, but we made one happen. And a new pan, an unexpected pan, is always appreciated. Next, we have a face palette. This was in my Pan in Every palette, and this is the Becca Be a Light palette. We had been working on the brightener shade for about a year. And that's what it looks like right there. It's a waffle pan, so it's harder to see than the like silver pans. But we have pan. I'm so excited. If you compare it to the other square, like big square shade over here, you can tell we used a ton of that product. It took over 100 uses to hit pan on this one, and I'm really excited to have like this much progress on this. I really enjoyed using it, and I loved having that palette out. The next product is my Hip Dot C-Note palette. This was in my whole collection project pan. It's still in that project, but I did hit pan on the shade Bedrock right there. And another unexpected pan. This one had a little bit of a crack in it, so it did go quicker than normal shades would. But we hit pan there, and I'm excited about it. I've said that about everything, I think, but I've been really enjoying reaching for this palette, and to get a pan out of it is definitely nice. A few more things. We have another face palette. This is my Live Beauty Shine Bright palette. This was in my Pan in Every palette, and we hit pan right here in this first shade here. I was using this as a face highlighter as well as a brow bone and inner corner shade like every day, and we have some nice pan in there. I enjoyed reaching for this palette all together as well. And then the last shade is my newest pan. This is from my Tarte Clay Play palette, and this again was in my Pan in Every palette series, and we hit pan on the shade Smoke right there as an eyeliner. It's like a dark chocolate brown. It's hard to tell because this palette's so reflective, but we have a nice little pan right there. And that's everything for today's update. A ton of new pans to talk about, and moving forward, I'm hoping to have a lot for the future as well. But we had a bunch of rollover pans to talk about. I was definitely behind on updating this video, so hopefully we can keep more on track and get this updated at least every couple months. But that's everything for today. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all my new pans, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Bye, guys.